So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of At the Buzzer Sports, where we talk all things basketball all the time. And today we have a reaction video. As we know, a little bit over or a little bit under 24 hours at the time of this recording, Kevin Durant was traded to the Houston Rockets. I gave my opinions on the trade on the Hoop Talk podcast. So instead of going back and saying everything all over again and having to edit that, we're just going to react to content. That's what we're going to do. Because, chat, I work a full-time job. I'm a husband, also a YouTuber. I don't want to waste my time editing something I've already said before, So we're going to get into a reaction video, and we're going to give our thoughts as Legend of Winning talks about the trade as well. Haven't watched this full video. I remember watching like the first minute of it, but I haven't watched all 18 minutes. So this should be fun. Let's get right into it.
For just now joining us, news has now broken that Kevin Durant has officially been traded to the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets were one of the very few teams that we have been talking about for quite some time now, about where KD was going to get traded to. We didn't necessarily know what exactly was going to occur, but it is now made official. KD is being traded to the Houston Rockets. The trade in totality is Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the number 10 overall pick, and 5 second-rounders. This right here is part of the video that I made last time. A lot of people got upset at me for the video that I made. When people sat there and said, oh, Lo, you just hate KD. KD should demand a hefty penny if you really want KD. I tried to explain to you all plenty times over and over and over again, when it comes to trading Kevin Durant, or really anyone in the NBA moving forward, the thing that you do not want to do is over leverage yourself. Give up way too much in the process to go get someone like Kevin Durant just so you can say that he's on your roster. That's something
I do 100% agree with this. With the new CBA rules, it's just very hard to make trades that match, especially with a player like Kevin Durant, who's going to be making $54 million next year. Is going to be the last year on his deal, and he'll be 37 next year. I don't know if that's something you want to give up 3 to 4 first-round picks for. This is why I think Houston won the trade drastically. You give away 1 pick, which is 10th. This is not like a 5th or 4th pick. You also give up Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks. Jalen Green, obviously, you wanted it to work out with Jalen Green, but, you just got to move on. You got to move on. And the Houston Rockets have gotten significantly better, so
you do not want to do, because if you end up doing that, then it defeats the whole purpose of getting Kevin Durant in the first place. It defeats everything. And KD, of all people, should know that, because it's now happened in not one, but in 2 situations that he has been in. So there's no need to damage what you are about to do and position yourself for someone who is older, on the last year of his contract, and respects to KD, but does not have the same level of impact that he did prior to where we're at right now. He just doesn't. KD's not at a point in his career where he can go out there and leverage himself in a situation to where he's going to optimize what he looks like in any situation like he did back in the day. He's not the same athlete. He doesn't share the defense the same. He doesn't attack the basket the same. These are all things.
See, now, a lot of people would say this sounds like hate, but it's just the truth. Kevin Durant is still an elite playoff scorer. He's still an elite scorer. He's just not the KD he was 10 years ago. And I think that's like a problem between these older players and as they're growing. Yes, Steph Curry is still a top 10 level player. Yes, LeBron James is still a top 10 level player. Yes, Kevin Durant is still a top 10 level player. Yes, James Harden is still a top 10 level point guard. But are these guys as good as they were 10 years ago? Fuck no. No, they're not. They're not close. They are not close. Like, if you were to say, oh, Kevin Durant is still in his prime. LeBron James is still in his prime. Steph Curry is still in their prime. You are way lower on their primes. You are way lower. You are way lower on their primes than you should be. If you still think Houston KD, 35-year-old Steph, and 41-year-old LeBron James are still in their prime. You're way lower on their prime. There's no way you can be as high on their prime. I don't like that conversation. Nowadays, you can't critique a player without it being disrespect. For example, one of my concerns with this is the advantage creation. Against OKC, you have to have A+ level advantage creators. That's why I'm not even gonna get into the Lakers. I'm not gonna get into the Lakers right now, but that's one of the issues that I think. And Kevin Durant, he adds to that. Kevin Durant isn't the ball handler that he used to be. He can't create the advantage that he was able to create in 17, 18, 19. He wasn't able to do it. He's not able to do it in 14, 15, 16. He wasn't able to do it. Or he's not able to do it now. So again, Kevin Durant raises this team's floor drastically. The Houston Rockets have moved into comfortably a top 3 team in the West. The offseason isn't over, but hey, I'm going to say this. The advantage creation in the playoffs, you're going to have to see a huge jump from Sengun, from Amen Thompson, and Fred's going to have to be Fred, I'm going to give my final thoughts about the trade after the video, but yeah, man, let's get to it.
In which we've talked about. So apparently news also broke about the Heat when they were trying to trade for KD. They were unwilling to move Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, Hayward Highsmith.
Hold on, chat. I'm going to make a full video about this. This is fucking insane. This is insane. Heat culture's done. It's done. Heat culture's done. It's done. I'm making a whole video about this. This shit is ridiculous. Look at the fucking offer. Jaime Jaquez, Jovic, Haywood Highsmith, and the number 20th pick for Kevin fucking Durant. And you already have Tyler Hero and Bam? Get the fuck out of here, bro. What? You don't even give up Wiggins. You don't even give up Khalil Ware. Am I missing something? The only reason I would be like, you know what? Maybe they're just trying. And then that doesn't even work because, Miami, they're trying to shed some money so they can be a free agency contender the following offseason, after this offseason. But Kevin Durant's on a 1-year deal. He's on a 1-year deal. You're not giving up much. At all. This shit is foul. We're only 2 minutes into the video, and I'm already like...
draft assets and a deal for Kevin Durant. That's why Jimmy left. Okay? Hey,
there it is.
That right
there it is. Exactly. I don't want to hear shit about it. I don't want to hear it. This is exactly why Jimmy's not in Miami anymore. Nigga done backpacked y'all to like 2 finals, 3 Eastern Conference finals. And y'all can't get him an all-star level player. Well, no, y'all had Bam and Tyler. But y'all gotta... I'm sorry, bro. This shit is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That is fucking incompetence. That is malpractice. It's incompetence. It is incompetence.
Why? That right there is why. Haywood.
Chat, I am juiced up on coffee. Y'all don't even know. It's 6 a.m. I'm juiced up on coffee. I have work in 2 hours.
Highsmith is enough. I actually thought everyone would say Khalil Ware. I thought Khalil Ware was going to be a part of that.
That's one of the things. Like, you're telling me I could get Kevin Durant and I don't have to move off Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, or Bam? Are you fucking kidding me? With how wide open the East is? Get the fuck out of here, bro. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Says, I guess not. In a 20 overall pick. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. If you are the Houston Rockets, I agree with what they did. You don't want to give up too much to put yourself in that position. And I think they actually did an excellent job by not doing so. They didn't compromise way too much. In this upcoming season, it looks like the starting lineup is going to be somewhat of a Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant.
This is what I wanted to talk about right here. This is the last time we're going to pause. This is what I wanted to talk about right here. I don't love Amen at the 2. I I like him in the starting lineup. I just don't love him at the 2. With this team, this is a top 5 defense. Like, to be completely fair, this is a top 5 defense. The switchability they have from 2 to 4. I mean, and I think their defense gets better with Kevin Durant inserted without Jalen Green. Fred VanVleet, not a terrible defender. Alperen Sengun is not a terrible defender too. These guys can be neutrals to positives on the defensive side. And then you have Barry off the bench. You still have Steven Adams off the bench. So you don't lose any of your identity. You don't lose the defense. You don't lose the rebounding. You don't lose the transition stuff. Even though Amen Thompson and Jalen Green at their peak could have been one of the best transition duos we've ever seen. But it is what it is. You go get Kevin Durant. You make the move 10 times out of 10.
Alfred Sengun. I think that is a more than adequate starting lineup. Regardless, though, the fact that they were able to keep both Tari and Jabari, the fact that they obviously were not going to move off of him in, but I think the biggest thing is that they were willing to keep or able to keep Fred VanVleet because they're going to need someone who is a passer, a playmaker, a ball handler, someone who is able to pass, situate the offense, organize it, and kind of get things going. So, yes, I do enjoy what Houston got in return and what they are willing to give up.
That Rockets-Lakers Western Conference Finals is going to hit like crack. It's going to hit like crack.
We all knew that,
I hope I don't get monetized or demonetized for saying that. Is that like something that I hope not?
Of their plans long term, and looking back at it, something that I was incorrect about, but their ability to sign Dillon Brooks on such a hefty contract originally was viewed as a negative, but here we are now, and it's a massive positive because they were able to leverage the amount of money that they signed for Dillon Brooks to go get someone like Kevin Durant. The number 10 overall pick to the Houston Rockets don't really mean much. This is a team that's trying to compete now. So give it to somebody who deems it a bit more valuable, and that's certainly going to be the Phoenix Suns, as they are in a situation to where they are supposed to have a lottery pick, but they don't have it. 5 second-round picks. Who cares if you're the Houston Rockets? But the two biggest things that they gain in this situation are, I guess, the two biggest talking points if you're the Rockets, outside of receiving KD and all the things that means for them. Jalen Green being gone, and also the Rockets keeping all of that Phoenix Suns draft capital that they received in last year's offseason. That, to me, is the two biggest takeaways. Jalen Green is a player that I think we all knew was going to be on the chopping block. Jalen Green is a player that we all know
Yeah, the playoffs really solidified it. It really solidified it. Like, by the way, I think I have the playback. Oh, it's on normal. It's on normal. It's just we're only 4 minutes into the video. Yeah, the Jalen Green playoffs sample. I knew like if I knew if the Rockets were going to make a trade, Jalen Green was possibly going to be in it. Like, the Houston Rockets are ready to win now, and Jalen Green's not ready to win now. He's not. Fantastic player. Not even fantastic player. Very. He shows his potential. He teases us with it. Because Jalen Green could be a top 10 shooting guard in this league. He definitely can. And
gave him more than
he can
enough
be an
time
all-star.
to get in the situation
it is what
he
it
needs
is, bro.
to get to. And all they were asking out of Jalen Green in these playoffs was to just be a volume scorer. Not efficient, not a playmaker, passer, not even really much of a defender. We just need you to find a way to gain the separation to put the points up. That's all we're looking for you, Jalen Green. And as we may need to remind a couple of people, in this first round matchup against the Golden State Warriors, Jalen Green averaged
was absolutely abysmal.
Obviously,
absolutely abysmal.
But a whopping
absolutely
13
abysmal.
points. And even that stat line or that scoring production is a bit.
That is exactly. That's inflated because game 2 he had 38. He had 38. And chat, this is exactly why I need to start double uploading. And it's the off season. There's going to be so much to talk about. There's going to be so much to talk about to where I need to start uploading 2-3 times a day. I said it on Twitter. I need to start uploading 2-3 times a day. Literally. Because there's so much things to talk about with just this trade. You got to talk about Devin Booker. You got to talk about Jalen Green. You got to talk about Kevin Durant. You also got to talk about the weak-ass Miami Heat not trading for him. There's so much to talk about. What do the Phoenix Suns do at the 10th pick? I just
because
I don't know
of his game 2 output. Because in game 1, Jalen Green gave you 7 points. Game 3, he gave you 9 points. Game 4, he gave you 8 points. In the closeout game, he gave you 8 points again.
I'm not going to lie. One of these games, he wasn't that bad. It was one of these games where he was making the right reads. He just didn't score a lot.
In 4 of the 7 games, Jalen Green was held under 10 points. In 6 of the 7 games, Jalen Green was held under 15 points. Unacceptable and all understandable for people out there who want to sit here and say that, hey.
And the crazy part about it is this is not like this is his second year. This nigga's going into year 5. This is not like, oh, you know, it's his second year in the league, you know what I'm saying? This is his first year as a starter. No, this nigga is going into year 5. Year 5. And it's like, I'm going to say this though. I'm going to say this. And this is another thing I might make a video on. NBA players, a lot of their play is okay. I'm going to try and explain this the best way possible, and then I promise you we're not going to pause again, because as you can see, we're only 6 minutes into the video, and so far the video is 15 and a half minutes. There's so much more going into an NBA career than just the NBA player's play. Jalen Green is an outstanding talent, athletic, ball handle, the quickness, the first step, the shooting upside, absolutely talented player. Phenomenal talent. Those first 2 years in Houston were detrimental to his development. Detrimental. The Houston Rockets had absolutely no structure. And this is exactly why I believe coaching is so important in the NBA. Having a coach, a coaching staff, good development, a good GM, all that stuff goes into rebuilding a team. You have to bring your young player into a culture. Jalen Green was possibly 18, 19 years old when he first got to the NBA. He didn't even play in college. All he know is tween step back. That's all he know. So we really have to look at the Brooklyn Nets with Jordy Fernandez. Fantastic. To be completely honest, if I'm Brooklyn and I have Jordy Fernandez at the helm, yo, Philly, I'm finna trade up. I'm trading up with y'all. And we're taking Ace Bailey. We can fix him. We can get him into NBA level. We can have him playmaking, playing defense, creating on the dribble. We got that. Don't worry about it, because we got Jordy at the helm. You feel me? Like, that's really what I want to do.
He needed more time. He's young. First playoff round, first playoff series. That's all understandable as well. And you give him all the time in the world. He's only 23, 22, however old. That's all fine. The Houston Rockets are not in a situation to where they can piss away an opportunity or two because somebody else isn't where everybody else is.
You can't waste
these projects.
You can't waste these years. Amen Thompson's still on a rookie deal. Alperen Sengun's rookie max kicks in next year. I don't think it's a rookie max, but his rookie extension kicks in this year coming up. Kevin Durant's about to be off the books unless you're extending him. You need to, come on. You got draft picks. You got young players. You build around Sengun and Amen. Have KD help both of these guys, because he can help develop both of these guys in Amen and Sengun. He can help with both of them. And you just build a proper team. You have 2 first-round picks in 27 and 29. You solid, bro. You solid. You're good.
Everybody else is progressing faster than this person is. We have to move on. That's not to say that Jalen Green's career is done for. It's not to say that I'm sitting here calling Jalen Green a bust. What I am saying is, though, Jalen Green needs to find himself in a situation that has the patience for him. That's not Houston.
Sadly, I don't think it's Phoenix either. But
to further this point, one aspect that people need to acknowledge in this new NBA is to capitalize on players who are not making that much money. That's what we're seeing out there with the Indiana Pacers. That's what we're seeing also with the Oklahoma City Thunder. How much can you squeeze out of players who are not making that much money? How much production can you get? And when we look at the Houston Rockets, what was so special about this season for them is that they were able to get all defensive league production out of Amen Thompson, who's 22, making $9 million with a lot of upside. They were able to get production out of Jabari Smith, who was still on his rookie contract as well, at $9.7 million. They were able to get a lot of production out of Alfred Şengün last year of his contract as well at $5.4. Tari Eason only making $3.6. Next year, $5.6. They know that these four players have been giving them a lot of production on their rookie deals, and they've been able to maximize that. They know next year,
Fred VanVleet making $44 million is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Are going to be making $30+ million, which then ups it to $190. So if we're now going to start paying $190 million, it needs to count. If we're now going to put ourselves, we're bumping up near the second tax apron, if not over it, we need to make sure that it counts. It cannot count if Jalen Green is on the team. So that right there is all why Jalen Green had to go and why it made sense. Because if you're Houston, if anything, you're not done yet. Reed Sheppard still on the team. You still have all this draft capital. And push come to shove, if you need another star out there, I mean, hell, Fred VanVleet making $44.8 million.
This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, if I'm Houston, I'm trying to go find a two guard. Yo, Boston, what's the price on Derek White? What is the price on Derek White? That may sound crazy, but a starting lineup of Fred, Derek, Amen, KD, and Alperin? Nigga, what? That's fire. That's fire, bro. Hell nah. That's fire.
Next year, you don't think this upcoming summer, they could also probably package Fred VanVleet with Reed Sheppard and some of those Suns draft picks to go out there and get a guard that they need to. So what I would say is the job isn't finished yet for Houston. I wouldn't be surprised if they go after someone else, but even if they don't, keeping as much flexibility as possible for what this team can look like moving forward was also very important. They did so by not only keeping a lot of the pieces that they had on their roster, but also keeping a lot of draft capital as well. All of those things.
The Rockets are going to be extremely fun to watch.
KD,
I will say this. Before the Rockets got KD, I watched Houston a lot. This year, so I'm really going to be watching this year.
There's a lot of pressure on your shoulder, brother. A team that just made it to the second seed, pushed first round to 7 games without really a half-court creator. And I think it's unfortunate that there's going to be this much pressure being put on Kevin Durant, because the truth of the matter is I don't believe that this roster is still complete. I still think they need a better point guard than Fred VanVleet. Again, they can go out there and get him, but they need a better point guard than Fred VanVleet. I think that they still need a little bit more depth in their front court in terms of size. They did bring back Steven Adams, so that's going to be really, really key. But Şengün starting 5, he showed a lot of promise. Who knows if that's real or not. But the three-point shooting is also going to be concerning. I think that's something that you can only cross your fingers and hope to develop. But I think that this team, though they needed half-court scoring, they also needed half-court passing and playmaking. And I don't necessarily know let me say this. I know adding KD isn't going to be enough. They're still going to need a lot more development from some of the younger players or some more moves that need to be made. So it's going to be a lot of pressure on KD because the expectations clearly have been set. This team clearly is looking to move off of who they deem to be somewhat of a franchise player. And
I will say this, though. Kevin Durant is undoubtedly a top 10 player. Undoubtedly. He's an elite player. I think he'll be able to raise this Houston offense so much in the defense. They didn't lose any of that identity. And you can also run an ultra big lineup with Şengün, Steven Adams, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, and Amen Thompson. Imagine how many possessions KD gonna get. Like, come on, bro.
To go into a different direction. And so I definitely believe if you are Houston, I say don't be content with the roster. Please go after someone else. But also if you are Kevin Durant, there's going to be expectations on you. I think that it's going to be an interesting team. I still think that they're missing at least one more piece. So that is everything that pertains to the Houston Rockets side of Okay,
so now that he's done talking about the Houston Rockets, we're going to cut the video here. I'm actually going to talk about the Suns probably later in the week. I'm not about to do that right now. I'm just going to talk about the Houston Rockets. Once again, if you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow me on Playback at the Buzzer at the Buzzer Sports. We're going to be doing a lot of off-season rewatches. We're just going to be watching historic games, Kobe's greatest games, LeBron's greatest games, Harden's greatest games, Michael Jordan's greatest games, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So make sure you guys get in there. As soon as we hit 100 members, I will be giving away something to one of my lucky supporters. So if you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.